So now that we have our basic physical topology set up and all cabled together, we're going to more or less just be following the lab procedure. One, because there may be some problems in it, and this is a good way to spot them. And two, just because it's kind of a logical way to break up videos. So let's see, which operating system? We are using VyOS 1.1.8. Hypervisor, mostly we're using VirtualBox to manage the actual VMs here, although we're also using GNS3 environment and VMware Workstation to host the GNS3 VM. So let's see, install our chosen OS. We have done that. Set up the virtual switch. Our virtual switch is down here. This is an IOU device. Technically, for the purpose of this lab, this can be anything as long as it can handle VLANs and trunking. If you're using, like, say, a local version of GNS3, you can just grab like a C3745, and in one of these slots, you can throw an NM16 ESW, and that is a switch port module, and you can in fact configure that to be a switch. It's not going to do a bunch of great advanced switching, but it will work. In this case, we're just using this. So let's start this up. Well, actually here, first let's change this name. I think it's S1 on the topology. Move that over here, and we'll start this up so we can configure it. So our switch is going to require a trunk over here, and I believe this is E1. Yep. E0/1 to be exact. And then it's going to require 2 access ports. So let's see. We're already into enable mode, so Conf T. And this is pretty standard Cisco stuff. And I think for some reason in the IOU images, the default condition for all the ports is up, which I don't like, and we're going to be fixing that too. But let's finish this off. So let's see, now we have 02, and that's going to be down here. And it's going to be in VLAN 10. So if you don't know about this, I'm not sure if this command works on Packet Tracer, but switch port host is just like a macro. Sets you to access mode, turns on port fast, and disables channel group. It's a nice shortcut. It doesn't really matter right now though. And then switch port access, VLAN 10. Now, VLAN 10 doesn't exist yet, so it's going to create it automatically. So let's exit here, and let's just go into VLAN 10 because we should have done that before, and just say, I think, what? Yeah, it's name. Okay, we're gonna name it sales, and then we're gonna switch to VLAN 20, name it support, and then let's go to our interface. I think that's 3. Yep. And now I'm just going to shut down all the other interfaces. It's good practice. Int range. If you don't know how to do this, this is also good time saver. E00, and I've got 4 modules on here, so I'm going to shut them all down to the same range statement. And this should shut them all down. Yep. Okay. Let's get out of here, and let's just make sure our configuration is correct. Yep. Yep. And that's everything. And if we were doing a complete switch configuration, we would be taking out a bunch of the extraneous VLANs and pruning the trunk and whatnot, but this is really a routing lab, so we're not going to bother with that for right now. Let's just save this configuration. And we're good to go. And this switch should maintain this configuration for the rest of this lab. So the next step under here is install the suitable OSs. We don't need to do that because we're using, get rid of this here, we are using VPCS, and those already contain a minimal, let me turn one on just to show you. Those already contain a minimal operating system. And those are the available commands. We don't really need any more than that. And now we have to configure the Internet Access object. So I might be wrong about this, but I think the NAT Cloud in GNS3 is auto-configuring. I'm going to test this in a second. Just call that Internet. If I'm wrong, then I can go reconfigure it. So we're going to have to take a look to make sure that this thing is auto-configuring. I believe it is, but I might be wrong. But we'll have to do that in part 2 when we do our basic router configuration. Thanks a lot.